Hello everyone, it's the most melancholy cyber new type, the Dapper Bard. I just gotta say it, this episode broke me. And it took me over a day before I really had the energy to come back and deal with this show. Not only is the episode bad, but it made me realize just how much of an emotional labor it is to review this series. Not because of the content of the show or anything like that. It's because the low quality of this series just hurts my overall love of Gundam. However, these reviews aren't about me or my fifis, so let's get this over with. Oh, and before we start, I just want to point out that I refused to watch this episode a second time, so there are no screen caps. So instead, please enjoy some Super Robot Wars footage. It's a simple cold opening, with the 2nd and 3rd fleets of the Space League people attacking the Ariel colony. They fail, and we cut to Gyul trying to talk to Miorine, who is very depressed and locked in her room. After the opening, we see Choo-Choo begging to use the demi-barding once more. She gets it, and we see that Earthdorm is preparing to get things together to go on their big mission. From there, we see Mary Suletta talking with Elon 5. They don't say much, but Mary Suletta admits that she truly wants to stop Irikt and her mom. From there, we go to the Benerit Group base, where Gyul is trying to figure out their next move. They are interrupted by Mary Suletta showing up and asking to meet with Miorine. Gyul says they can only meet if Suletta beats him in a duel. They have a fencing match because rip off, and honestly, this is the moment that pissed me off so much, I rage quit the show. But, like I said, I finished the show, so let's finish this breakdown. This show is a complete pile of dreck, so do I actually even need to say who wins? Granted, based on what Gyul mumbles after the duel, he may have let Suletta win on purpose. This really stupid sequence left me with some questions. Like, who uses an upward thrust while fencing? Why are they fencing in the first place? Well, okay, I know the answer to that one. Why would Gyul even allow a duel? Why do they need to duel? Why is her uniform white again? Was this an official duel? How? There were no witnesses. Gyul doesn't go to the school anymore. This makes no sense. You know what? This probably only exists just so Mary Suletta can be in her default costume. Anyhow, Mary Suletta visits Miorine. Mary Suletta explains that she's going to Quiet Zero and wants Mio's support, but Miorine is too depressed. Mary Suletta continues to explain that Mio is one of the reasons why she made it this far. Miorine then opens the door, and they hold hands in an awkward, curled fingers way that looks like something you would do if your grandma or something. It's weird, and I assume it's done to kind of keep the relationship vague for certain markets. Then we return to Quiet Zero, where Prospera is told that the system is recharged. Then Miorine and Mary Suletta meet up with the other Earthdorm students before being told that Miorine's dad has woken up from his coma. Yeah, this is one of those sections where they just keep cutting between things. Miorine talks of their father briefly before we cut back to Quiet Zero, going after Plant Quetta. They're looking for more Quiet Zero parts, because apparently it's not completed, but there aren't any parts there, so they decided to go after Delling, who I guess collected the parts while in a coma, because this show is stupid. We then cut to a meeting of various characters that I guess make up our main team now. They have a little argument over how to confront Quiet Zero. As it turns out, only high-tier Gundam pilots can survive the data storm, and apparently an add-on pack for the demi-barding can give it some protection, which is very convenient for Choo-Choo so that she can join in the final battle. Of course, Belle has the shutdown codes for Quiet Zero. Actually, that makes sense, because she did help build it. Thus, they need to get her over there, while Mary Suletta distracts Ariel and the drones. Gyul isn't too happy with this plan, but he's been shifted back to chump status, thus his opinion doesn't matter. After that, we see everyone preparing for battle. This includes Miorine trying to recruit Shattuck, the Earthdorm kids preparing different robots. We see Mary Suletta and Miorine talking about tomatoes. No, really. And apparently Mio's mom put a secret message in the genetic code of this tomato. No, really. Also, every time I see someone eat a tomato like an apple, it makes me just a little bit sick. How could the writers consider themselves anything other than hacks after writing something as stupid as hiding a secret message in the genetic code of a tomato? Do they know how genetics works? You can't actually do that. For a lot of reasons that I don't even want to get into here. This just... the show! Alright, let's continue. We wind down the episode by having Suletta test out the Calibarn's systems, that's her new Gundam, and achieve Permit Score 5 with a little bit of strain. I would make a comment about how this humanizes our invincible super protagonist, but I already knew she would succeed. After all, there is no drama if you know a character can easily overcome everything, and that is our main character in this show. We close out with the Calibarn facing off with the drones. On the way to Quiet Zero, we also see Lada is getting involved in the fight, and Eri talks with Suletta to ask why she is doing this. And Suletta says to put a stop to them. Very heroic. Can't wait to see the exciting conclusion. Originally, I wasn't going to talk about the Calibarn, primarily because I was totally out of spoons when I originally recorded the audio. But I decided it was worth going back and talking about the new mobile suit. After all, I've done it for all other major mobile suit designs. I do like this design. Its proportions are nice, the large shoulders are kinda cool, and while the broom-looking weapon is a little bit on the nose, it does at least have a unique look to it that sets this unit apart. Beyond that, it seems to be just as good as any other Gundam in the series, and using an older model to battle against newer models is nothing new to the Gundam universe. Overall, I like this unit. I'll never buy the model kit for it because I absolutely hate this show, but at least for a final suit, it looks pretty good. The one thing I would like to talk about, but I truly don't have the spoons for, is how this series references The Tempest. No, seriously, the hacks that made this show reference Shakespeare. I would have mentioned it earlier, but I thought it was just a coincidence. My mistake. Anyhow, let's wrap it up. There should be something pithy, I say, for this closing. However, the emotional labor of this show has taken so much from me that I can't bring myself to do it. I hate this show. And the worst part is this show damages my love for Gundam. The same way The Last Jedi hurt Star Wars fans, Kurtzman Trek hurts Star Trek fans, the way Doctor Who, Indiana Jones, and many other franchises have caused pain inside the hearts of fans. I wanted to quit this review series because of this episode, but I was convinced to keep on going. After all, if you're going to run a marathon, you better keep going to the end. For those who are running with me, thank you for being here. I'm not quitting, but I'm not going to watch any of the last few episodes more than once. This show sucks, the fandom is with me, and we will make it through this crap storm together. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the tavern.